the men continued going. Every night, her lantern would shine gently from her window like a signal, and every night, another man would walk into her arms, but something was changing. At first, the wealth was all everyone could talk about. The men who visited Noni Oma became rich overnight, cars, lands, designer clothes, new houses, but then they started to disappear. It began with Kolechi, the palm wine tapper turned landlord. One morning, his new gate was wide open. His Benz was still parked outside, keys still in the ignition. But Kolechi was nowhere to be found. They searched the bush, the stream, even the back of the shrine. Nothing. It was as if he vanished into thin air. A few days later, Boba Onu, the one who married the city girl, was next. His wife said he got a call around midnight, stepped outside, and never came back. His phone was found at the doorstep. His shoes were neatly placed beside it. Whispers began to spread like wildfire. They are disappearing one by one. It's the woman. She's taking them. The fear began to creep into the hearts of the villagers, but surprisingly, the men didn't stop. They said, maybe those ones offended her. Maybe they didn't keep the rules. Maybe their time was up. Even some of the ones who had not yet gone started rushing to her, afraid that the opportunity might vanish soon. The women begged, they cried, they warned their husbands, but the men didn't listen. The question everyone was asking, who's this woman? Where did she come from? Why are the men disappearing after she gives them wealth? But no one in the village has answers to that yet. Then one night, the village was shaken again. Okonko, the bricklayer, one of the men she blessed with wealth, was seen shouting in his compound. His eyes were red. He kept screaming, "She's calling me. I told her I'm not ready. She's calling me." Before anyone could stop him, he ran out into the night, barefoot and shirtless. He was never seen again. Now, even the bravest men began to fear. The woman called for another meeting, this time with the elders and the chief priest. The chief priest said nothing for a long time. Then he finally spoke. "You all rushed to a woman you did not understand. You took her gift, but no one asked for the price." The room went silent, even the air stood still. Then he added, "The spirits have started collecting their due. But the worst has not yet come." The next morning, the sky was unusually grey. Clouds gathered like spirits waiting for something to happen. The birds that usually sang in her compound were silent. The women of Umuse were ready. They tied their wrappers tight. Most of them wore red beads on their necks and tied protective charms around their waists. Mama Yudoka held a calabash filled with sand from her ancestor's grave. Mama Ebiub carried a broom soaked in palm oil. They went in a group, over 30 of them, marching through the village like a rising storm. Nobody dared stop them. The men watched from behind trees and fences. Some shook their heads in fear. Others whispered, "Let them go. Let them try." When the women reached the compound near the palm grove, they stopped. The gate was already open, as if she had been expecting them. Her hut stood there, quiet. No smoke from the kitchen. No birds on the roof. Just the eerie silence. And the scent of flowers. Mama Nkechi stepped forward and shouted, "Noni Oma. Come out. We want to see you." No reply. The women began to chant. Songs of war. Songs of pain. Songs from their grandmother's time. Then they poured libation and began to sprinkle native salt and ashes around her compound. Still, no movement. Mama Ebiub, shaking with anger, stepped forward and raised her broom. She shouted, "You have taken our husbands. You have taken our peace. Today, you will answer us." She struck the door of the hut with the broom, once, twice. On the third strike, the door creaked open slowly on its own. Inside, there was no one. The room was empty. No mat. No clothes. No pots. No lantern, just an old wooden mirror leaning against the wall. Mama Yudoka, breathing hard, stepped in slowly. She looked around. Then her eyes landed on the mirror. She gasped, "In the mirror. She saw all the missing men, Kelechi, Boba Onu, Okonkwo. Even the Egwi's son, their faces were inside the glass, motionless. Like they were trapped. Like they were alive, but could not speak. The women screamed, some ran. Others collapsed. A few stood frozen, unable to breathe. Then, from behind the hut, a soft voice floated in the air like smoke. You should have stayed in your homes.